Joining us in the studio, the one and only Scott Weiland. How you doing, Scott?
Doing good. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for taking the time out of your day and stopping by and visiting us here today.
No problem.
Talk to us a little bit about the new album, Blaster. And
Yeah, it has a lot of different sounds. We don't use straight like Marshall guitar sounds. We use all fuzz boxes and bass microsynths and to get the interesting guitar tones.
And I know Cora was a big album for you. Had a lot of fun making that album, the debut album with Stone Temple Pilots. But you've said that this making of this album is an even better experience for you right now.
Well, it's the most excited I've been making an album since Core. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I just had a really good time doing it with my friends.
I love the name, and I like the album cover of Blaster too. The old school ghetto blaster, we call it, right?
Yeah.
My sister had one just like that. It had the double cassette. We used to put the cassettes in the driveway and pretend we were a rock band. It was pretty cool.
That's cool.
I was going to ask you, about the when I first heard a couple years ago that you did a Christmas album. I thought, or you're going to do a Christmas album. I thought, no way. And then you came out with this Christmas album that was fantastic. What made you think of doing that sort of thing?
I've always just loved those old standards, those old holiday standards, and always wanted to make one myself. And so we got an orchestra, horn section, string section, piano, stand-up bass, guitar. And we recorded it
and with
live.
all the stuff that you've done in your past bands, the stuff you're doing now, I know you have a lot of influence like David Bowie, the Stones, the Doors. What kind of a set list are you going to pull out tonight?
Well, we'll be doing most of the new album and then 5 STP songs.
Okay. And what about, it's funny, you hear a lot of classic rock artists now talking about the fact that they think rock is dead. And more people are saying that, but you hear what you're coming out with now. That doesn't seem to be the case. And what's your opinion on that? Do you think that there's enough newer bands coming out now that are still rock? Is rock still alive?
Well, I think it's changed because the market has changed. The whole music industry has changed so much. The typical rock fan, they download music now more than buy CDs. In country, you still have people buying CDs. So you can, it's easy to go platinum if you're a big country artist. But in rock, it's much more difficult compared to, the first 20 years of my career where,
you guys sold billions of albums. And it's not the case now.
Yeah, it's not that way anymore.
Yeah. Are there any current rock bands that you're kind of into right now?
I like the Arctic Monkeys a lot. I like Jack White a lot. I like the Black Keys a lot.
Cool. Congrats, by the way, on your New York Times bestseller, Not Dead and Not for Sale.
Thank you.
You wrote that, and obviously took a long time probably to come up with what you wanted to really put in that whole book, and to come out with it at this stage in your life. What made you think this was the time to do it?
Well, after doing so many interviews and having what I said in the interviews being misconstrued, I felt that I wanted to write my own book and tell my story myself. So that way, it would be from my mouth. Mm-hmm. My hand.
You talk a lot about a lot of different things in the book about STP. You talk about addiction, relationships, and you talk about Velvet Revolver. You're with that lineup for a while. What was it in your opinion? Because we hear so many things from the other guys in that band about what split you guys up. But what is your opinion of what split you guys up? Was it Slash's wife? I heard she's just a bitch and was in the studio all the time.
She definitely had a part to play in it. I think they're getting divorced. It's just hard to keep a band together, and that band was a super group. I mean, everyone was known, and so everyone had their own perspective on their own, I guess, ego, and that kind of came into play after a while.
Yeah.
It was really great while it was really great, and then it when it wasn't fun, it wasn't fun. But I respect all those guys very much, and think they're great musicians.
Do you even talk to them anymore?
Yeah, I talked to some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about the guys in Stone Temple Pilots like Dean and Rob? Do you even talk to them anymore?
No, not right now. We settled our lawsuit that we had, and after that was settled, we kind of just went our separate ways.
And what about the music that they've put out? Mr. Bennington, I mean, I've heard it. It's not Scott Weiland. It's not the Scott I love in the STP. What's your thought? Or have you heard what they've done?
You know what? I've never even heard it.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard it.
Yeah. Well, you're not missing much, so there you go. Man, you've done so many things. You've done your own solo work. You've done the Christmas album. You came out with your own clothing line. You worked with Velvet Revolver, Stone Temple Pilots. What's next for you after this tour that you're doing?
Well, we're going to Europe for all of September and part of October. It's a 6-week tour, so that's what we're going to be doing next.
And the tour's been going well for you. I've been following you guys on Facebook, and a lot of fans commenting and saying fantastic show, and love your backing band, The Wildabouts.
Yeah. It's the show's been going great, and we look to have a great show tonight. So everyone come down to the Rustic pub.
Yeah, tickets are still available, and you can pick them up at the door tonight. Doors open at 7. We have That Dirty Racket opening up. I think you guys are gonna hit the stage around 9 o'clock or so.
9:30.
9:30, and tickets can be picked up at Pickers Alley, or they can also be picked up at the door tonight. So we want to pack the place. Before we go, tell us a little bit about the song we're going to play called Modzilla.
Modzilla is one of my favorite songs on the album. It's a riff that Jeremy Brown, our late guitar player, came up with, and he did a home demo of it and brought it into rehearsal, and we played it on some compact speakers and through his computer, and it just sounded like something that we could take to a whole nother level, and we worked on it and completed the song, and I came up with the melody and the lyrics, and it just we recorded it, and it sounded just mammoth.
All right, before we fire it up, I have a pair of tickets to give away to the Scott Weiland and The Wildabouts show tonight. So give me a call, 464-1063. The first person to call me and tell me the name of the new album from Scott Weiland and The Wildabouts gets that pair of tickets. Thanks for joining us, Scott.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We look forward to the show tonight.
Thank you.
Here we go, Modzilla on K106.3.